Hi, it's Lou Manfredini, Aces Home Expert, and in this video I'm going to show you how to change the rubber paddles on your single stage snow thrower. Now, depending on the unit that you have, you need to make sure that you're buying the correct replacement rubber paddles. On these single stage units, you'll notice that the rubber paddles are not only what catches the snow and then throws it out of the chute, but it helps move the unit along, so it almost creates a self-propelling. If you've noticed that it's leaving a lot of snow on the ground or it's just not throwing it like it used to, replacing these rubber paddles may be just the trick, and they're affordable, and this is easy to do. Okay, these units are a little bit worn out, and you'll see that there's kind of two of them on there, and there are these bolts that hold it on this center paddle and then on the side panels as well. It's not a bad idea to rotate this and put a little lightweight oil on there to kind of loosen it up, because remember, this is in contact with the snow and the water, and so a little bit of rust can form and it might be difficult to remove it, and so a little bit of lightweight oil to loosen that up prior to this maybe makes a lot of sense. Make sure the unit is off, and you go ahead and pull the spark plug wire as well. Okay, now with the appropriate socket, you're going to go ahead and loosen these bolts holding it in place. One thing that can be helpful if you've never done this before is before you take the old paddles off, if you're a little concerned, use your smartphone or your camera to take a picture of how it looks when it's done. That way you'll ensure that when you put the new one on, it looks exactly the same. You got to just rotate the paddles to access all of the screws to get everything off of there. On this particular unit, you see this back panel, this paddle came off. So this has to go back on when you put it on there. So you're going to do one at a time, holding it in place, because this is the threaded part right here that holds these two on, and then it's vice versa on the other side. But it's fairly easy to do. As you can see, these rubber paddles have 6 holes total, okay? And there's the wear you can see on the old paddle. We're going to put those new ones on, and this thing is going to work as if it was almost brand new. While the screws are the same size, they're not the same type of screws. You see the ones with the point? The ones with the point go on the outside of the paddle. The square tip of the bolt goes in that center plate that you're going to do. So just make sure that you orient these screws the right way. If you get it mixed up, it's not the end of the world. It's just a little helpful tip. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and tighten the sides before I flip and install the plate on the center one. And I think what I'm going to do is rotate and do the other rubber paddle on the other side, so that when I go to do the center plate, that'll be all 4 bolts. The nice thing is it's rubber, so you know it's going to move around so you can get the bolts in there. And then go ahead and get these nice and tight. You don't want to really crank on it, but you want them to be really snug. See how when you tighten it up, it pulls that rubber in a little bit? You want to see a little bit of a depression on the rubber when you tighten it down. But don't go too tight, because you'll actually pull it all the way through if you're not careful. Okay, so this plate has a threaded portion of 2 of the holes and then larger holes there. So you have to orient that so that the threaded portion goes on the top on this particular setup here so that the bolts can go through, and then I'm going to put the bolt through the plate, through the rubber, and then it's going to thread into the back of this plate. I'm going to just tighten this down a little bit, but I'm not going to take it home so that I can spin the whole unit and put those other bolts in there just to make sure everything lines up. Then I'll go ahead and finish tightening them down. I want to see a little bit of that squeezing the rubber in, so that's going to tell you that it's nice and tight. You're ready for the snow. Coming up next, how to change the spark plug in your snow thrower.